All right, so what's the meaning of life? The big question, the biggest question. I remember in high school being introduced to this question and everyone scratching their heads and looking confused. What even is the goal and purpose of life? Can we even narrow it down to one? Is there one that exists, or do you have to create your own meaning? Does essence precede existence, meaning we have to create the purpose of our existence? And like existentialism would say, is there something else that we submit ourselves to, or is it up to us to write our own life? And this question, I think, on the one hand, is incredibly complex. On the other hand, it's insanely simple. Westminster Confession of Faith, a really helpful document that was birthed out of the Reformation, 400 something years ago. The first question asks is, what is the chief end of man, or what is the main goal or the primary purpose of a man's life or man's existence? And it says this: to glorify God and enjoy him forever. Okay, so to glorify God is about as religious of a phrase as I can think of. It sounds kind of 10,000 foot, really ambiguous. What does that mean? Well, to give something glory is to give it weight, to give it value, to take it seriously. The word glory most naturally means weight. And so like a weighty person or a weighty thing is a serious thing. And so to take God seriously and enjoy him. Now, usually people you take seriously, you don't really enjoy. Like you think about like a disciplinarian father, a serious man, versus like a CEO of fun type dad who's a really fun guy. But here you have this kind of duality with God where you're going, take him very seriously and enjoy him forever. But what does that actually mean? What does that look like? Well, a lot of people really lean onto the enjoy him forever side. God made all things. God made all the pleasure receptacles in my brain. God made beautiful women. God made money. God made plants. God made animals. God made sunlight. God made beaches. And so I'm just going to, I'm not here for a long time. I'm here for a good time. I'm just going to enjoy. And I'm going to find my purpose in life in the pursuit of pleasure, even if it is pleasure under the authority of God. I don't think if you're listening to this podcast, you're, someone who thinks that womanizing and theft are good, but you still might kind of go, hey, do whatever you want and just kind of submit to God's law, but the main goal still is pleasure with those constraints. On the other hand, there's like the very serious side, where someone's going to become very studious, very doctrinal, very Bible study, very serve in the church, very carry your weight, very serve the Lord with fear and trembling, and the pursuit of wisdom as opposed to folly. And there's kind of like a serious approach to Christianity. Like I want to glorify God, and that's a serious endeavor. And I think that balance that comes from those two commandments, to glorify God and enjoy him forever, is actually something that needs to be at the heart of every man's life. I want to be serious about God. I want to be a student of him. I want to be a disciple of him. And I want to enjoy all the stuff he made. I want to be a creature who lives in the creation and appreciates the goodness and truth and beauty of all that he has made. I think about the book of Ecclesiastes, where it opens up with the line, vanity, vanity, all is vanity, says the preacher. The NIV says, meaningless, meaningless, all is meaningless. So in the question of the meaning of life, if you get to Ecclesiastes 1, you go, there is no meaning. None of this matters. The root of that word is actually ha'avel, which is like as Abel, that character Abel from Genesis, who is here just briefly. Ha'avel means mist, vapor, mist, all is mist. What that means is like that's highlighting the brevity of life. The clock tends to spin faster and faster, so it seems. And so all these kind of temporary pursuits, while nonetheless could be good, are also just so brief, and they're here and then they're gone. So what do you do? And so the author of Ecclesiastes talks about how he made tons and tons of money. But guess what? Lots of people have lots of money, and they're sad and lonely, and money goes to the rich, and you die and then you don't have it, so it can't be money. Then he says, I had lots of women, and I appreciated the beauty of all that exists, and he womanized. He goes, but guess what? That's over quickly too, and the hunt is more fun than the catch is kind of like what he's getting at, and it overpromises and underdelivers as well. Then he talks about knowledge and the search for wisdom, and he read tons of books and wrote tons of books and tried to become wise. But guess what? The wise man and the foolish person die just like one another. And so he kind of goes on this meandering discussion about what's the chief end of man? What should I be doing? And here's how the book ends. It's a pretty definitive statement. This is the end of the matter. All has been heard, meaning my discussion about this is wrapping up. I've discussed every possible meaning of life. He says, fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. For God will bring every deed into judgment with every secret thing, whether good or evil. What's the meaning of life? Per the author of Ecclesiastes, fear God and keep his commandments. Uh, to fear God is to live with reference to him, to take him seriously. Keeping his commandments is to submit to his word. But here's the thing about his commandments is we tend to think of them as restrictive, but so many of them are raw blessings. Subdue and have dominion, be fruitful and multiply. Enjoy wife with whom you love. Rejoice in the woman of your youth. Like, there's so many of these commandments that are about taking a Sabbath and resting and enjoying in what God has done. And so there's inherent tension to the question of the meaning in life, but it really has to do with this kind of two binary things. It's fear God, which is to glorify him, to take him seriously, live with reference to him, don't shift into functional atheism. And then it's enjoy him forever, sing him praises, appreciate his handiwork. It'd be like if you were friends with Beethoven. You said, I love Beethoven, but I can't stand his music. That'd kind of be weird. Like his creation is part of who he is. And so to enjoy God forever has everything to do with like enjoying in holy ways the things of earth and enjoying his person, his presence, enjoying it with him. It's more fun to go on vacation with someone you like than to go on vacation by yourself because you're enjoying it with them. And so I'm enjoying creation with awareness of God's presence at my side. And so what is the meaning of life? Well, it's to fear God and keep his commandments, to glorify him and enjoy him forever. And this inherent tension, I think, creates balance in our lives. We don't want to be all fun all the time, people. We don't want to be all serious all the time, people. But we want to live with balance in the world he's created, submitting to him, loving the things he's made, and enjoying them forever. So my encouragement to you as you contemplate the meaning of life is what that specifically looks like for you is different than what that specifically looks like for me. To some degree, I think that God's law is kind of like foul poles in baseball. Like there's all these things that are out of bounds, but once you're on the field, there's a lot of freedom. You might play second base, I might play shortstop. You might be a catcher, someone else might be a center fielder. But there's these different stations we have on the field, but we're all playing the same game. And you wouldn't tell the pitcher wouldn't tell the catcher, you're not playing baseball right. You should be a pitcher. Like, no, your station is different than my station. And so there's real freedom within Christianity about what that exactly looks like and how that plays out. But glorify him and enjoy him forever. Fear God, keep his commandments. This is the basics of what it means to have your life devoted to God and what the purpose of our life actually is.